Hello, and welcome to another One Lion of Code. I am One Lion, and today is Wednesday, October 4th. It's already October. Oh my goodness. Time is just going zoom, Berto. Here we go. So we may as well keep going zoom. Welcome to the stream. On this stream, we have been doing Blazor development, or application development using Blazor, I guess, is really what I'm trying to say. So we've been working on our stream project called the Financial Management Tracker, and we've been playing around with this calculator functionality that we've been getting to look pretty nicely. And so this app is a way for anyone who clones it to update their database so that it matches, and then manage your finances. Manually track your financial transactions. Yes. I still don't have a good way of describing it, but if you're interested in it, feel free to use the link there. It'll take you over to the GitHub project page for this, and you can read all about it here. I did put a little bit of how to clone the app and how to get it running on your local machine. Mostly, I was kind of writing it during a what is this? What is all this? Anyway, I was writing it during a stream and not really paying attention to what I was writing because I think it was a community day and I was listening to the conversations that were going on. So anyway, it's there. Feel free to peruse it. We're going to continue on and get this calculator to look beautiful. But first of all, hello Dukasoft. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Not too busy, or if it is busy, that it's the right kind of busy, the kind that you like, if you even like busy. So here we go. Like a magic. We were most recently working on indicating when the calculator has the focus. So if I click in here, you can see this lighter outline show up. And if I click anywhere else outside of it, you can see that the outline is no longer there. And so what I'm wanting to do is when the calculator has the focus, I would like to be able to push the number keys and the plus, minus, times, enter. Yeah. To, I forgot divide. To perform the calculations. Oh, and backspace. And escape and delete. So I think this is delete, this is escape. So normal functions, normal keys that you would push on your keyboard in order to get the calculator to work the way you want. There is one really easy thing that I want to take care of really quick, and that is when you don't have a result, you don't have this top section, but as soon as you start having input, then it starts printing it out up here, and then everything shifts, and we don't like shifting. Therefore, we're going to make sure that this thing is always taking up the amount of space that it should be taking up. And that would be formula output. And the easiest way, instead of doing a check on if formula output is null or white space, then output a non-breaking space. Instead, we just always put a non-breaking space because it doesn't really matter. Especially since we have user select turned off. That's really interesting. Why on click drag are we getting pointer? I'm assuming it has to do with our invisible button that we're setting the focus to in order to show that this control has the focus. I would have to say Jess. Interesting. Okay, but anyway, that's fixed. So if we refresh the app, open the calculator, we always have this space up here regardless. That way nothing shifts around as you're clicking on buttons. You know that it's always going to stay in the same place. Perfect. Now onto the hard parts. Oh, may as well do a minor commit. Very baby commit for that. I always go to this thing to do my commits. It's so weird. It's over here. Hello, Beatrix. I still can't remember if you told me whether I'm pronouncing your name the way that you intended it to be pronounced or not. You know, I would, except that for some reason when I do that, I mean, it's a great idea. Let's just see what happens when I do it. It's just it often tends to not actually line up with the size because of padding. So I'd have to do some extra maths for padding and such. Let's just see it, since I haven't committed yet. Basta. Nope. Down here, please. Wait. Do I really not have formula output anywhere? I have calc output, but not formula output. Do I want to actually? I think I do. I am pronouncing it correctly. The tracker is going along nicely. Height, or I guess min height, 1 character. And then that shows up immediately. That shows up immediately. Hello. Why didn't that show up immediately? Hello, Goku Jax. For any of you that are here and feel like it, please feel free to let us know how your day is going. Why aren't you hot reloading my CSS? Sequence contains no elements. It's not even compiling my CSS. That's kind of annoying. All right. It says hot reload of scope CSS succeeded. You're lying to me. I did not see the rules show up over here. Don't lie to me, son. So, oh, is it because I put hash formula dash up? Oh. Just kidding. I wanted to select by ID initially, but I kind of forgot to. Okay, save. Compiled successfully. Okay, this time it's not showing up. All right. We are draggable content, chord header, calc output, formula output, ID, formula output, save. Okay, so we are getting it, but for whatever probably because it's a span. What happens if we make you display block? Yeah, that's what I thought. I mean, I don't mind that. It can be display block. I like your shirt. But yes. I have a lot of shirts with quips on them. They say the things I'm afraid to say out loud. Yeah, and so you can see that it's not quite right because of the extra paddage. So, how much padding am I giving? Actually, we aren't giving this span any extra padding. So why? Why is one character not right for min height? There's no padding, there's no border, so none of those calculations should figure into the height of this thing. Yeah, why is it still shifting? Yeah, so that's why I'd rather just fill it with a non-breaking space. Especially since you can't select it anyway. So be brutally honest and show no mercy. I love showing mercy though, and I love treating people with at least some minimum amount of respect. Okay, so there you go. So now it's never going to change height, size, regardless. Actually, you know what? It still may. Oops. That wasn't good. Oh my gosh. Still got some bugs in the calculator, apparently. Okay, so it will change width, but it doesn't look like it wraps, so that's okay. Changing width is not too terrible. Yeah. So my ethos, or is that more pathos? Anyway, the way that I have the way that the values exist in me, regardless of how a person treats me, I'm still gonna treat them with respect. It's just, I don't know. It's just me. It's what I do. Hold on. Got an email to respond to. So selfless AF. No, it's just it's a trap is what it is. No. It is something that I live by. So regardless of whether I want to do it or not, it's just how I'm gonna be. It's part of my core values. It's not trying to be anything. It's just what it is. Um, uh, Gosh, I really need to figure out. Like, I'm in a situation right now where I'm trying to word something respectfully and politely. I'm being asked to do more interviews because for this 2 weeks, I am currently on. Uh, for those of you that don't know, let me put it this way. For those of you that don't know, I work for a consulting firm. Their name is Sagetti, and any views and opinions that I express on this channel are my own and not necessarily the views and opinions of Sagetti. But what consulting firms do is they pursue clients who need some work to be done by software developers, by analysts. What are they called? Anyway, management analyst and data analyst and business analyst is what I was trying to get to. Um, and architects and whatever software, or not software, whatever technology needs. Yes, nerds, that's exactly right. Whatever technology needs clients have, and they set up a contract with them, an agreement to perform that work and to deliver whatever it is that is promised to be delivered. So I am currently on a team that is working on a desktop application for the client. I can't reveal who the client is, but we are working on a desktop application. So anyway, that client is currently on a work stoppage. That's the best phrasing for it. It was hard to find that phrasing. So they're currently on a work stoppage where we aren't allowed to bill them. Sogeti is not allowed to bill the client. Nerd team won. And so what that means is I'm technically benched. So I'm doing admin time to do training, to do anything in support of Sogeti directly. Normally I am doing things in support of a specific client, but now I'm doing work that is directly supporting Sogeti, and they're paying me for that time because I'm a W-2 employee of Sogeti. Not a lot. There are some people on the team that are not W-2 employees. They're actually contracted through another agency, through Sogeti, to the client. And so they just aren't able to get paid at all because they can't bill. And if they can't bill, they don't get paid, which is kind of, stressful for them. But anyway, that said, they are now asking me to do more interviews than what they normally ask me to do. So when we do interviews for, what are they called? Fresh out of college hires, student hires, I guess, or internal hires for various other positions, then they ask existing workers, existing consultants, yes, graduates, thank you. They ask existing consultants to do the interviews, and I've already expressed to them that I am done with human resources. I really don't want to be doing reading and rating resumes, interviewing people for finding fit and doing technical evaluations of them, but they use their assets. So one of the drawbacks, and this is in support of what Beatrix was saying, where it kind of sounds selfless or it sounds doormat-ish, is that part of my treating everyone with respect is when I do an interview, one of the most respectful things I feel that you can do with an interviewee is, first, don't try to trip them up. Like, you may have some technical questions where you know the answer and you have a specific answer you're looking for. I really don't like it when people do that. It's like, here's this convoluted problem that you most likely won't meet in the real world. What is the answer for how fast you're supposed to drive on a 2-lane highway? And it's like, what? 42. That is correct. You win. Yes. So anyway, I ask questions that are relevant to the position that we're evaluating them for, relevant to their resume, relevant to their past experiences. And if it is something technical, then I ask it in a way that's like, how would you logic through this? I'm not looking for a right or wrong answer. I'm looking for, how do you think through this problem? What solution do you come up with? And if you can't come up with a solution, how do you ask for help? How would you look up the answer? Those kinds of things. And so anyway, I ask meaningful questions, and after the interview, with the whole they ask us questions, I fill out the evaluation form with all of my genuine, non-reserved feelings about how the interview went and their technical ability and whether they're a good fit or not. And so because I do that, one, it takes a lot of time to do. So if I'm actively working on the client project and able to bill, I'm not only doing that job, but I'm also trying to do 3 or 4 interview responses. And that takes a lot of time. And it's like, I can't just, like, I can normally just throw my hand at a keyboard and make thousands of words appear. But when it comes to that, I think about how it went. I have notes that I organize and then put into it and then say, here's my honest evaluation of whether they're a good fit or not. And here are things that they might be a good fit for, if not this position. And so they value that. The people that ask me to do those interviews are like, man, you're really good at this. We really enjoy your feedback that you give. And that's what the email was that I just got back. But I've told them multiple times that it gives me so much anxiety because regardless of how many times I've done an interview, and I've done a lot of interviews, it still takes a lot of preparation work. It's still, since you use those words, takeaway, it takes away time for me to work on my client project. And so in this case, I don't have the it takes away time from my client project because I'm not allowed to do my client project at the moment. So I don't have that as an excuse, but I'm like, I've already told you that it gives me a lot of anxiety to do this because not only am I actively employing this thing that naturally happens, which is judging other people, and I don't mean to, but it is a natural part of me, but now I'm doing it actively. So I'm already doing something that I'm not comfortable with doing. And then second, it really still takes a lot of preparation time and just, yeah, interacting with other people. So one of the things that I do with the stream is interact with you guys on community days, have you come onto the voice channel and practice interacting with people that I'm not really familiar with. Although I am becoming more familiar with a lot of you, but that's one thing that I use it for. But it doesn't get easier. I still get so much anxiety out of this. Anyway, so the takeaway, do a bad job. And that's the thing, I don't know how. Like, even if I tried, it would be like, this does not feel right in my body. And my body is just crinkling, and then that will affect me for an even longer amount of time than just the one-shot body blow of doing the interview. Anyway, okay, so Beatrix said, I had a coworker in my last job who shat in the sink twice. Like, literally? Or are you just saying it as a phrase that means they... Not literally. Okay. Interesting. It's easier when you just start fake working for someone and build a relationship one day at a time. Yes, absolutely. I haven't even assigned you any quests yet. Oh, that is one of my favorite things to do, though. When we get a new dev, especially a junior dev, I love giving quests. Quests are fun. I think I like being a quest giver. Masterette said, I mean, one time you would think would be enough to get him fired. Yeah. I don't know how they made it through the first time, but doing it twice is crazy to hear. Gosh. Duke is soft. He would get the poopy org title. I need Finite's little bleeper so that I can just curse without offending too many people. Again, I have no problem with what is considered foul language. What's a quest? So for typically new developers, a senior developer would assign a task, but you know, tasks are lame. Tasks are just like, here's a one-off thing. Quests are more like, you start off with doing this task and then you move into this next task, and then that builds into the next task until you finish an entire quest, and then you get XP and points for it, depending on, you know, the team that you're on, but that's how I like to do it. So for example, yes, and then you level. So for example, if we're working on a major project and we get a brand new junior dev that is somewhat comfortable with their C# skills but doesn't really know anything about Blazor, and they're one of the things that they're supposed to do is modify the UI so that, like, let's say there's an issue down here where this bottom thing would start overlapping these cards here instead of being stuck all the way at the bottom. They start overlapping as you shrink and grow. So one quest is make a proof of concept page that duplicates the issue. And then the next quest is fix the issue in that just HTML CSS page. And then the next one is now do it in Blazor. And then the next, and those are all tasks in this quest. And then the next one is apply that to the application, create a branch, do a pull request, all that stuff. And then you complete that quest. And it does take a little bit more time, but again, it gives them familiarity with the application itself, because now they're looking at the HTML. How is this thing structured? And when they're reproducing it, especially as Blazor, then they are also learning Blazor at the same time, getting familiar with the code base, all of that fun stuff. Okay, so that's it. As I mentioned, okay, I'm just gonna send that. One thing that I have started doing more towards what Beatrix was saying is being more respectful of myself too. Instead of trying to find all of these pretty words to make the other person feel good that I'm saying no, or in this case, I'm not even saying no, I'm saying I would prefer not to. I will do it, but since you asked me for this one, but I prefer not to do it often. But I'm also just being honest instead of trying to use pretty words. It's like, this really does affect me a lot. I don't want to have to apologize for being this way. I signed up to work at Sagetti to do software development, not interview other people. But I don't want to be brutally honest, because that to me steps over the edge of the amount of respect that a person deserves. But you can. Again, these are rules that are specific to me. They don't matter. They don't apply to other people from my perspective. Okay, so Koslaw said, I'm writing so fast. Were you taking notes on that? I worked construction for 25 years. I've seen some stuff. Yeah. Hello, Deflux. He asked me, how's it going? It is going well, actually. I did just get an email where Sajetti is asking me to do an interview, and I was griping about that just a little bit, but I'm back. Someone has been messing the HR chick. Not messing. Well, most of us were at the office. Oh, so someone was actually doing a thing. Stick to your guns. Yeah, I mean, like, I appreciate the advice, guys, but I have a vastly different value system than a lot of you. Yeah, I hope it's firm but fair, Master Rap, but at the same time, it's also pretty passive, so it's not as direct as a lot of people feel a person should be. It was in a new tub though. What was in a new tub? So I missed that one. So I read the I'm writing so fast. I worked construction for 25 years. I've seen some stuff, and then it was in a new tub. Was that about the person that was screwing the HR person? You should be able to say no without hesitation. Yeah, but again, for me, I do consider, is it, can I say no in a way that is still respectful? Like if I'm going to say no, and I put it in a respectful way. Like being invited to my brother's wedding, for example, which isn't for another year. Like I thought it was going to be this October, because we got the save the date thing and it said October and I didn't read the year. So I was like, I am happy with not going. So how do I say that in a respectful way? Anyway, you're a kind spirit, no shame in that. In a new tub was about the about pooping in the sink. Sink guy. The HR chick in my office was getting railed while we were working at the office at some time back in the past. That's crazy. I used to be HR and I didn't get railed in the office. What? Okay, we have a calculator. We have a calculator that knows when we have the focus inside of it. We now need a calculator that will respond to key presses. So I'm going to do this the naive way first, and then we're going to see if there's a better way. Usually I end up keeping the naive approach, but just in case. Number one, the first easy thing to do is I have this focus button here, which is the thing that gets the focus when you click anywhere inside of the calculator, but not on one of these buttons. Yeah, Beatrix, that's definitely not my mentality. So regardless of how the other person is being, I'm going to be respectful. I'm going to do my best to be respectful. There are times that, you know, I'm human. I do get fed up and I'm like, I'm going to walk away. I was talking to Duka. Duka. On key press is what I want. Handle key press. And we're going to have something special on this handle key press. I just know it. Because we're going to not only be listening for the private. We'll make it a void for now. Handle key press. Keyboard event RTE. We're not only going to be listening for the key presses when we push them here, but also when we're pushing it on these buttons here. But the thing is, when one of these buttons has the focus, oh right, and I need that to output as HTML. When one of these buttons has the focus, when I press the enter key, I don't want to change the default behavior, which is to make that button trigger. Right, I forgot. So normally the enter button would default to doing the submit, but when you're on one of these keys as the focused button, then I would want it to just push that button. Push that button. Okay. So I need one more parameter in this. That's going to be a bool submit on enter. Default that to true. There we go. All right. Obviously the glass can overflow. Yes. Yeah. I mean, I've already ranted a bunch of times, and I do find like myself, again, ranting, being slightly disrespectful, and that's why I try to rant about situations and not people, because I don't want to disrespect the people that were involved in the situation. I still think that they are all worthy. Every human is worthy of some amount of respect. And just being upset by the actions of someone else when it's my own personality that doesn't like a certain thing usually has nothing to do with the other person. Just, I don't get it. There's a lot of why kind of stuff, you know? Okay, anyway, this is not going to work because we need to have an E and allow it to be true. Okay, so what we can do real quick is console write line, key pressed. Oh, I wanted that as an interpolated string, please. Okay, so we can watch the console as soon as we are able to rebuild. Are you going to rebuild? Doubtful. But yeah, that's enough about my philosophy. Again, it belongs to me. It's mine. No one else has to follow it. These are my rules for me. Although it would be nice if other people adopted it. At least people that I interact with. You didn't hear that. I didn't say that out loud. All right, here we go. I click in here, we have the focus, and now when I press number keys, plus sign, divide, minus, times, equals, number keys across the top, but also keyboard keys. So we need our regular expression that says if the key pressed was not one of these keys, then do nothing. Otherwise, check to see if we are pressing the enter key and we're ignoring the enter key presses. Otherwise, yeah, makes sense, right? How do we do that? We say we need our regular expression for allowed keys, which I'm gonna do as a private. Can we do const regex? Are you a struct? No, you're a class. So we can't do const regex. We have to do static read only regex. And this will be allowed, allowed keys. And we're gonna let Copilot write it for us. Like a magic. Hello, Gilgamesh. I really don't understand this. Is this really a better thing to use? Like, is it maybe that this can be a const? No, that cannot be a const. Ow, ow, what foot? That kind of hurt. My favorite frenemy. So if not match wait, what? Yeah, I don't even know how to use this, apparently. Do I have to instantiate it when I want to use it? Oh yeah, I do. Okay, so that's fine. That's what we're doing here. So here's our instance of it. Match, or is match, e.key, then do nothing. Otherwise, print it out. So we're gonna see if this works. You don't see comma, right? What do you mean? We have 0 through 9. Oh, you've got a point. I made a pun. Did you hear it? Oh gosh. Oh yes. Oh, much water. So what do you think? Cause that's kind of weird now. Should I allow both decimal point and comma? And then when we localize, we have this thing appear as whatever your system's decimal separator is, but only respond to whichever one that, man, that's some logic. Oof. I think I will for now. So let's put the comma in there. And why are there 2 backslashes? Shouldn't you only be 1 backslash? No. No, you are 2. Oh, because... Oh. Gotcha. They didn't put the @ symbol in front. It's just easier to read, in my opinion. Okay, we're gonna see if this works. Do you need a rebuild? You do. No, actually, I took the refactor recommendation. So I had the actual regular expression itself written up here. So I said public private static read-only regex allowed keys equals new regex with the pattern that I wanted. And then it said, well, you should turn this into a generated regex, whatever that is. So I'm like, sure, I'll use it. It looks like more code to me, but it also gives us the free explanation of what the regex does, instead of me needing to write the comments for that. So far, that's the only thing that I've noticed that is different. Yeah, IntelliSense magic. And I say I wrote the regex, but I meant Copilot wrote the regex initially for matching any of my calculator key presses. Oh, and also escape. I need escape and delete. How am I going to do that? Char code? Is that what you think? Do I have char code? I think I can use the string output that I'm expecting which is, I think it was the whole word escape. Dang it. We'll have to find out. I've already lost my key press handler. Okay, here you are. If we don't match, oops, then we're going to still type something out that says ignored. Key press. So that we can still see what the escape key is. All right, are you gonna build? Are you gonna go my way? So we bring the calculator up, get the focus, push some numbers, ignored letter keys. And I forgot about that. The escape key does not trigger an on key pressed. We have to use on key down if we want to detect the escape key. Same thing with the delete key. We have to use handle key down. Dang it. Okay, how about now? Escape key. There we go. Delete key. So yes, the words escape and delete, we can ignore. Alt. So that should look like the group escape or the group delete. Do I need to do this like this? I honestly don't know how to do this. Yeah, so that's character set. Match a character in the set. Yeah, this isn't gonna work. How about either this or escape or, oops, delete. And I guess in this case, I don't actually need the parentheses for the grouping around escape and delete. So first capture group, match with 3 alternative expressions. First one is match a sequence of expressions, match if at the beginning of a string, match a character in the character set. Okay, so we're gonna move this out in front so that we always have to be at the beginning of the string. And then we look for a character in the set of star through 9, a string escape, or a string delete. And that's it. That worked. Double magic. So I think this is the correct pattern, and we can figure that out by pressing the 1, 2, 3 numbers. Divide times minus plus. Enter key. Ah, I forgot enter. Or enter. What else we got? We also got period, comma. We got this minus and equals and plus. So the equal sign is ignored. We don't, why is the equal sign ignored? We told it not to ignore the equals. It's not, I'm just blind. I'm dyslexic. Things move around, okay? It's not my fault. That the shift jumped to the equal sign. They switched places while we were looking away. I saw it. Anyway, escape button up here is no longer ignored. Delete button is no longer ignored. Enter key works. So good. All right, so we have all of our key listeners. And so what we can do here is pretty simple, because naively simple. Again, we're doing this a very naive way, but we're going to turn the key pressed into an operator. And then we are going to send it to this method. So, how to turn it into an operator. Copilot heard me. Apparently we're going to do this the manual way. We're just going to take the actual key that was pressed and turn it into the actual operator that way. Again, the naive way. Yeah, we're going to figure that out. So, for example, period or comma, we'll do toggle. What's the negative one? Toggle negate. Already lost it. Handle period clicked. So, that's terrible. Handle decimal. Decimal. There. We're good now. Handle decimal clicked. The end. So we should already be able to see this functionality start happening. 5 plus 2 equals. Yes, and that was all keyboard. And you can see it over here, and it's working the way that we want. Divided by 10. I want to fix that. I want to fix that right now. Formula output we're going to do as a markup string. There we go. Done. Delete gets rid of the thing that we just entered. Escape gets rid of the whole thing. So 5 plus 2 equals plus 45. I meant 42. Ooh, why is delete doing backspace? Because you should be handle clear. And we need backspace, which is handle remove. Okay, so we need to now allow backspace. This is really, really easy to do. All right, so 452 point. Ooh, what happened there? Did my finger just debounce? And I was like, no, I meant 42. Wait, 40, yeah, 42. Cool, this is working exactly the way that we're expecting it to. Maybe we can also handle Control-C so that we will always copy the value into the clipboard when we push Control-C, regardless of whether we have it selected or not. Dukasoft says yes. That's a good thing to do. So in our key press, we can also listen for C or C. Oh, which I guess since these are single character, we can put inside of here. Although I don't think that they work inside of there. Okay, so C or C. And we will handle if C is pressed, which means that we can just lower this. And then to be safe, we can just lower this. And there. Again, this is going to be really hard because I'm hard coding delete, escape, enter, and backspace. But what happens when we localize and these say whatever the system languages version of these is? Key code would have been better, wouldn't it have? Wouldn't it have? Do we even get key code? Yeah, we do. Okay, so I'm gonna have that there for now, and then we're gonna use the key. Wait, code might actually not be the char code. This is the string. That will give us numpad 1, numpad 2, etc. Only 2 lower contains taxes. So that's not going to work. Do we really not have the char code? Interesting. Well, we'll figure that out. Again, let's just continue with our naive approach because I am making it more complicated than it needs to already. So we're listening for C, but only if, oh, and all of these need to be 2 lowered. All right, and we will only respond to this if e.control is being held down, which means do nothing otherwise. No, these are things that I want to consider Dukasoft. I really, really appreciate it. All right, so we don't have a way to perform copy using .NET when it's running in the browser. Like if we were running on a computer, on a desktop, we would be able to. But if we're running in the browser, then we have to use JavaScript to do copy. Thankfully, our Dukasoft JavaScript interop has, it does not has. Thankfully, in our previous component library, we have the interop. Where am I trying to go? GitHub. Blazor component library. Did you just say library? You're gonna get cut. Inside of shared, we have a copy text to clipboard. So let's find our Super Dukasoft JavaScript interop. And we're going to add this thingy here. We're going to change it over to Dukasoft.js Funks. Ampersand, we're going to write the JavaScript for it, which didn't I start this in TypeScript? Like what I'm planning on doing, because I'm having so many issues with TypeScript and telling it to output to a specific folder, I'm just gonna tell it to compile it in place and then tell the TypeScript file to never copy out. So in order to do that, where is this? Yeah, I don't have it in here. So I would write my TypeScript for this. Super Dukasoft interop TypeScript. Make sure that I don't accidentally build before copying all this. And then we have to do some magic because now we're doing TypeScript. So interface iWindow, which is this thing here. Or is it just window? I think it's just window maybe. Then we add an object called Dukasoft Funks. And we tell it that it's an object by doing this. Maybe? All right, are you just regular window? There we go. That way we don't get the errors there. You are an element. Blur doesn't exist on element by default? Really? That's not true. I think it is. I've only done it this much, and I'm learning a lot more about it, and it is pretty fun to use when you have to use JavaScript, in my opinion. So yeah, I think we're going to just tell this thing to forgive every blur and focus. I don't know how to declare methods. Function blur? No? Oops. Are you supposed to be a comma? Interesting. This is kind of cool. So anyway, we're going to assume that whatever element we find with this has blur and focus. Cool. Go us. So then the other thing that we need is the actual JavaScript for copy text to clipboard, which I guess is just called clipboard copy. And since I have all of both of these in here, Dukasoft Funks. Why can't you find Dukasoft Funks? Window? Do I have to specify window.dukasoft funks? And I need get element. Dang, that's a lot of stuff I'm gonna have to pull in. Because I think get element also has. Oh no, we're fine. Get element should be good. Because Dukasoft isn't funky. Oh yeah. Oops, that's not where that goes. Aw, dang it. Minimize, push. All right, so you are either going to be a string or an element. If it's a string, then we use getElementById. If it is not a string, then we use the element or selector, in which case at that point it is an element no matter what. If not elem and type of elem or selector is string, then we try getting it by query selector in case it wasn't just an ID. By this point, it should be an element or null. And no idea what this is, what this last bit is. Typescripting.org, and this does look helpful. I think I already have this in my favorites. I don't. It would have told me. Let's put this in, yeah, web design, I guess. Cool, so we'll keep that as a handy reference. Scott says non-functional Dukasoft. Aww. I'd rather do JavaScript than PHP. Never done TypeScript. Don't think you'd ever want me to do the JavaScript stuff, but you do. You're doing it just fine. You're handling this JavaScript mess pretty nicely. Okay, clipboard copy. Text to write is going to be a string. I don't know. For those of you that do TypeScript, do you usually put a space between the variable and the type? I think that I have been consistently putting it directly after. Or you know what I mean, a space between the colon and the variable is what I meant to say. And also, yeah, this should be fine. I was thinking, should I instead turn this into async await with the try catch? Now that we are writing modern TypeScript, or do you think it's fine as is? So you're going to be string or element. Interesting. Why doesn't... Oh, because this is my actual interface up here, isn't it? And so my Dukasoft funcs is going to be a Dukasoft funcs interface. And that is going to have all of these functions here. Ha. Ugh. Don't think I would insert a space before the colon. Yeah, if you were coding it yourself, you're probably like me and you're like, I don't need an extra space in between those, but I don't know what current styling conventions are for TypeScript. Or variables and types. But is it usually identifier space colon? Can you show me examples, please? Ooh, no space even after the the identifier. But then again, they're kind of all over the place with their lack of spaces anyway. For this one specifically. They're like, I don't want spaces anywhere. Dukasoft. Anyway, hi Scott, hi Xcoding. Why? Sorry, I'm lost. And good VJ. I am lost in TypeScript, JavaScript land. Hi TypeScript coder, one lion. I'm learning as I go, by the way. So if this looks terrible to you, if I'm doing it the wrong way, I apologize for that, but I'm just gonna keep running with it. Are you actually returning a thing? Clipboard copy? Yeah, you are. Right. Because clipboard copy is another object with two methods. It returns a promise? Interesting. I didn't think it returned a promise. Okay, anyway, we got all of the red squigglies to go away. Is there anywhere that I didn't... Oh, you. I don't know what the type of events are for drag, for example. What is the type of... In TypeScript, what is the type of event? HTML input event? Not specifically React. I don't care about React. So there are specific events there. So a drag start, I guess, what I'm really looking for. On drag start. Why does it keep giving me React? Drag event. All right. Anyone else that I'm missing a type of? This, I am letting it infer the type. So anything that I'm declaring inside is inferring the type. I'm okay with that. Okay, I think we're good to go. Let's just find out if it will compile. Or transpile, I guess is the word I meant. It has not yet, but then again, we probably need to Control C. Never touch TypeScript and probably never will. And Dukasoft says, I'm fine with this. Yeah, again, if I have to write JavaScript, I may as well write TypeScript because I do prefer type-safe languages.
I got a bad feeling about this.
I also got a bad feeling about this. Why didn't you compile transpile? Do I not have TypeScript? Okay, so for those of you that have never used TypeScript in a .NET project, especially a class library, a Razor class library at that, the way that you add it is you go into NuGet Package Manager, and then you act like you know what you're doing, and you type something like Microsoft build.task.typescript. Microsoft.build.typescript. Microsoft.typescript dot build. Microsoft.typescript dot ms build, and then you add this package to, oh, it's in my shared components. So because Blazor UI uses shared components, it should also have a reference to it as well. So then the next thing you do is you configure TypeScript, and there are multiple ways you can use a TS config, or you can use the right click and properties. And so long as you have that NuGet package reference, you should have a build TypeScript. Do I really need to reference it directly in this project to get that? So if we look here in the one that it is referenced in directly, we should see a TypeScript section. Yeah, and we do. And then we configure our things here. So it looks like you might need to reference it directly in the project that you want to use it in, as opposed to relying on inherited dependencies. Maybe you need to well, I just did rebuild without doing any changes. Good thought though. Maybe you need to rebuild 3 times. Isn't TS config compiler to convert TS to JS? Yes, and that's what we're doing. We are transpiling from TypeScript to JavaScript. Oops, I decline. I want to use the same version. Although, why am I not using version 5.2.2? Is I getting errors before or something? So then you install the MS Build tools, you reload your projects, you stop your app from running because it isn't. Where is this applicable? This is applicable whenever you're using TypeScript instead of JavaScript. Huh? Okay, so anyway, what I'm trying to say is you then go right click properties on the project, you get the TypeScript node menu item, and then you make your selections there. I have no idea what the actual selections are supposed to be. But the only one that I know is that I want to use ECMAScript 6, because otherwise it adds some weird imports at the top that I don't know what to do with. Okay, and then when I tried to build, you saw that it gave us some kind of error that it couldn't overwrite the file because it would overwrite the input file. Lies. The input file is .ts. You're outputting to .js. Or are you overwriting the file? Well, what would happen if we just deleted this? Oh geez, Mojo's here. Can I use this with Blazor Wasm? I am using it with Blazor Wasm. What do you? It's just anywhere that you're going to write JavaScript, you can write TypeScript instead. I mean, you should probably see if you can do it in C# first. But our current situation is we are trying to write some text to the clipboard, and we cannot write text to the clipboard directly when we are using Blazor Wasm, when we're running this app as a web application as opposed to a desktop application. So we have to use JavaScript in order to write to clipboard. Mojo says the product team reached out and they wanted to make sure we're on target to release the financial management tracker by end of week next. They also added a list of requirements, which include integrating with banks. Should be doable, yeah? Cool. Marketing is sending out the emails now. That is exactly what it's like. That's not even an exaggeration. Good VJ says, in many Spot frameworks, including React and Angular, when we write code in TypeScript instead of JavaScript, in React we have the option to choose any. We need to compile TypeScript code to JavaScript to make it run in the browser. Yes. One day browsers will be able to run TypeScript directly. One day. Okay, so I'm running into an issue that I've never run into before. Which is that when I try to compile my TypeScript, it's telling me that it can't. Because it'll overwrite the file. And so what if I move it out of the JS folder? Will you be happy with me then? It is happy with me then. But it's now having a compile error for, transpile error for the TypeScript, which says, HTML element cannot simultaneously extend element and HTML or SVG element. I don't know what that means. So I'm trying to extend element here because if I don't have this, I get an error that blur and focus do not exist on HTML element. Or just on element. So maybe if I told this thing that it is a HTML element that we're going to get back, there we go. Okay. So now if I build, where are you going to output my JavaScript file to? You're going to output it right. If you tell me that you cannot overwrite the file, I'm going to stab you. So that error was completely misleading. It was not that it was going to overwrite the input file. It was that there were other errors that it couldn't transpile. Anyway, so here's what I want to do to make sure that the TypeScript file does not copy. I will tell it to do not copy. And then the generated JavaScript file, I will say content. Copy if newer. I think that's what I'm supposed to do. I don't know if that's what I'm supposed to do. But yes, one more thing to pull from this was the other copy functions. So I will just get all of my copy element stuff. And then we'll go back to our Dukasoft JavaScript interop, and then I will catch up in chat. I've lost it. I've lost my marbles. Here you are. Nope, that's draggable container. Hello, Dukasoft JS interrupt. I'm so blind. Super Dukasoft interrupt. Because I was looking for something else. Anyway, here's all of my copy text. Change you to that. And we may as well get everything else to look like that. Use. Although I have been putting my arrows on the next line. Make you look like that. And he's getting quieter and quieter. Okay, chat says, we're possibly landing a client that will bring on 5 times our yearly user growth. Boss called us and asked, can our platform handle that by April? I guess we'll find out. Jeez. Let's hope that you guys did plan for scalability. My answer was throw money at the problem and optimize later. Truth. Yes. At least up front. Handle the demand and then recover. Hopefully recover. All right, no more O1LJSs. Those don't exist. But yes, we should have been able to use navigator.clipboard.write text. It was just that I was doing some special things in my copy to clipboard, which I don't know if you saw. We're just doing this and then returning true or false if it was successful, but we're also getting the contents of the element to write to clipboard. I also have a version that will turn, and I don't think that I have it here. I have a version that will turn a HTML table into a CSV if you supply it to this method. So if the element that comes back is a table, then it turns it to CSV. Scales up to infinity if you do that. Or are you talking about Cosmos? You can virtually scale to infinity. How deep are your pockets? All right then. Anyway, last thing that I want to do, because I don't like this, I want this in alphabetical order. I know he's weird. He's weird. Weird kid. Increase Azure SQL DTUs until bankrupt. Yes. Okay, I think we're good to go. I saved everything. I'm rebuilding. We're going to run the app. We're going to see if pushing Control C. Oh, we actually need to write the code to actually copy to clipboard. Oh, because I hit reload. I'm like, why is the calculator closed as well? Calculator.razor. And then down here, calculator.razor.cs. And when did I open this? Okay, so if we push C and Control is being held down when we push it real good, then we're going to do Super Dukasoft interrupt dot oh, I put a capital Dukasoft? Are you okay with me doing this? I put Dukasoft with the lowercase s. Would you prefer that I had that capitalized? Copy text to clipboard. And the thing that we are copying is called num output. Displayed input num. I take it I did a bad. I did a really bad. Here we go. Fix it all in one go. We got the file renamed. We got the class renamed. We got all usages renamed. Fixed. Can't believe I did that to you. We need to specify the JavaScript runtime, right? You stay at the top. Inject. Allow new private IJS runtime. Call it JS runtime. Pass it to this method. You can't get dukasoft.com. Someone already stole it. Okay, we're done. We did it. I don't want to go there, but I'm also afraid to go there. What kind of stuff shows up on a Dukasoft website? Actual software. Oh. This kind of looks like Cestana. Do you know what language this is? I'm not going to show it on screen or anything. You can go there if you're interested, but it is a safe site to go to. Well, maybe. I can't guarantee that it's a safe site to go to. Translate. Turkish. Turkish. Confirmed. It looks like technology though, and they have a pretty cool logo too. Only automated realms could have a cool website. Calculator. So, keyboard input. I push the button so that it has the focus. I push numbers. I push Control C. And so you can see that it did fire the key press. Question is, do we have 42 in our clipboard? We do. We do. So now we can use 10 key or the number, these numbers, backspace. And I held, oh, I don't know if you saw that. I'm holding down backspace. That's cool. Delete. Comma. Period. Period doesn't do anything after we have numbers. So let's go all the way back to here. Period. Yes. Oh, this is working so well. Push the escape key, clears all. Start typing in your new numbers. Oh, this is so good. We got the keyboard input working when this thing gets to focus. What are you saying at me, Mojo? I mean at Duka? I'm not even going to try pronouncing it because I have no idea. I also don't know if you're cursing, and I would prefer not to curse at people. Just pulled up a Turkish name generator. Okay, so here's the you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to commit. Fixed styling, added key listener, key press listener. Okay, local commit. Now for the next step in our naive approach is we are going to have every single one of these buttons also have an on key down listener, except those on key down listeners are going to ignore the enter key because we want the enter key to do what it normally does. So I'm going to do one of them by itself so that I can do comma false. Okay. And now for the remaining, oh, you know what? I'm going to put it in front because I'm lazy. We're going to find all of our on clicks. No, on click equals. And we're going to put our on key press. Why did, huh? What did I copy? I don't think I copied the right thing. Oh no. More thoughts. Oh no. Stop it, brain. No, that does look cool, but I don't know if I want to do that. I'll tell you guys what my brain just told me to do that I don't want to do. How do I say no to it politely? Oh, it's because I had title backspace. Nope. Again. Make the same mistake twice in a row? What kind of INTJ are you? Okay. So here's the deal. If one of these keys has the buttons has the focus. So right now this is working. The enter key pressed actually gets ignored. I don't know if you can see that the multiplication symbol. Oh, that's interesting. But anyway, the multiplication symbol is the thing that happened. I'm pushing enter and it's actually pushing that number itself, which means that if you push the enter key, you're just going to only, oh, I don't like this anymore. You're going to activate the button that you are on. Do we want the enter key to always submit regardless of whether you have the focus on a button? Because normal button behavior is that the enter key performs the click action. However, the thing that my brain wanted to do was when you press a key, it wants to set the focus. My brain, that is, would like us to set the focus to the key we just pressed. Oh, one more thing. Let's capture N. And we'll use N for negate. I don't know what the actual key is in Windows Calculator. So essentially the effect that we would get is the same thing you get here. Where when you push a key, you wouldn't even have the key focus. So like, what does the Windows Calculator do then if you have a key focused? This is my what would Jesus do? What does the Windows Calculator do? Well, there you have it. The Enter key will always submit, regardless of whether you have the focus on another key. And if you push other numbers, the focus stays on the number that you had last. Okay. I'm okay with this. Calculator Jesus says that's what we're doing. The Enter key will always submit. Yeah, so spacebar definitely does the click. Does it do it in the in Windows Calculator? Yes. Right. Okay, so I lied about this whole extra parameter that we get. We don't care. Which means that all of our E arrows will now just be this. Which I prefer. Great, grand, fantastic, wonderful, marvelous. Okay, so regardless of whether you are focused on a key or not, pushing the numbers will absolutely make the int overflow, which is why it should be a long instead of an int, if it's not already a long, I guess. No, it's a decimal is what it is. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, stop it, brain. We just came up with a good answer. So we can tab to all of our keys in the wrong order, mind you, but we can tab to them nonetheless. We'll fix tab order soon. But wouldn't it be nice if... Wouldn't it be nice if we could handle pressing the arrow keys to move the focus? Stupid Windows Calculator, why do you have to do this? So just like in Windows Calculator, you can move the focus using the arrow key. Because there are people that are super duper fast with using the arrow key. Not yet. If you want to see that, we have to go into here. And hello, Irish John Games, who, if you do not know Irish John Games, he is a fantastic game developer. And Dukesoft beat me to it. I'll beat you to this though, because I can spell it. Ha! Fantastic game developer working on a game called Rise of Piracy, out S***N. It looks awesome. Can't wait to play it someday. At least wishlist it, even if you're not into this type of game. But I promise you'll at least want to watch and check it out and play. But the wishlisting, the lion can shout. If you're not following Irish John Games, follow him now if you feel like it. Of course, he will be streaming in about 45 minutes or so. Typically, no pressure or anything like that. 45 minutes or hour and 45 minutes. I don't remember. It's during my work day and I get to watch him while I work, so it's fun. Anyway, it's always good times over on his stream. Great person, great personality. 45 min yarish. Here are my balances for the accounts that I'm tracking in this application. They're not my real accounts, not my real balances. In fact, most of them are. Anyway. So yes, that's them. But what if we open our side drawer and we can't collapse it because this thing opened too wide? What if we wanted to enter a new payment for, let's say, the 3rd, 23, and we're buying our favorite fast food, Vindy's, and the thing that Vindy's did on their receipt for whatever reason was they gave us the total and then, you know, like the actual grand total, and then broke it out to sales tax only without telling us what our subtotal was because, you know, they just didn't want to. Then I would want to calculate what was my actual subtotal. Oh, I need to set focus to this as soon as we open the calculator. Okay, we'll do that. What was the actual subtotal? So it said my grand total was 2434, and it said that sales tax was 2.36. So that means that my subtotal was 2196 or 221.96. And my sales tax was 2.36, which should give me, I don't know what just happened there, which should give me a total of 2432. I meant 38. 8. Oh man, this UI needs some work. But that's okay. We can do UI work still and it'll be amazing. Oh geez. If you heard that, I apologize. There is an alert in our neighborhood. I did not mean to make loud noise. Anyway, so you can see here that, good grief, man. There are 2 alerts apparently. Oh, they were actually being tested? I didn't pay attention to it. I just dismissed it because I'm in the middle of something and that scared me. Kind of like when Apocalypse comes in and uses the... Okay, so yes, they are testing the wireless broadcasting system. So you guys probably did hear it. For those of you in the US. I'm not everywhere. Confirmed. All right then. Yeah, seriously. It like completely shatters my train of thought. We're good though. We are good. So our calculator is good. We can move it around the screen so that we can type stuff into wherever we want. We know it did the maths correctly. It doesn't always do the maths correctly. For example, what happens if we do a 2 minus 4.6? Yeah, just 2 minus 4.6. we get negative 3.6, which is incorrect. It should be negative 1.4, negative. I can't do that, man. Negative 2.4. Negative 2.4. Negative 2.6, actually. Why? I don't know. I don't know what the number should be, but it's not 3.6. It's off by 1. If you can't tell. Dagnat it. Oh, wait, that's happened before. That was terrible. Not good times. We'll catch you on Netflix's new show, Nowhere. Quantum entanglement, but with coffee. Yes, please. Oh. I wouldn't even have the key to focus, but that's just me. Not sure who would use it. All right. People that don't use mices. But I mean, if you can 10 key, but still, I kind of want to make that happen. I want to see, like, if nothing has the focus, pushing to the right then takes you to here. Actually, let's fix tab order first. That's going to be number 1 is the loneliest number. What did we do just now? We did something about getting the key presses to work. So we don't need this anymore. Go ahead and get rid of the comments. Get rid of this. Keep this because I need the arrow left, arrow right. I kind of want to do it like this. We should be able to do arrow dot star, right? Because that'll be the word arrow with any other text, any other characters, any 0 or more times. So maybe dot plus, at least 1 more. I think, dang it. I want to keep these. Ah, good grief. Give me this. Keep the console right lines. Go this back. There's no such thing as right lie. That is incorrect. Hello, Thindle. And President Not Sure is just like the cable guy. Came 2 minutes early. 2 minutes before the end of the stream. That's right. Doing fantastic. Hi here, I'm Dukasoft, aka Bardaki. Not leaving just yet. We're gonna do this one thing first. And then yeah, I just want to see if it picks up the arrow keys. So arrow keys, yes. So it is not ignoring the arrow keys. So what we're gonna do down here is in our default, if starts with arrow, correct. Break early. We will do another switch on e dot key dot. And now that we're using e dot key dot to lower a lot, we're gonna do key like so. I'm gonna do Bardaki. and everywhere that we have key.lower, oh, which apparently is up here. We're going to switch on E on key. Replace a road with nothing. May as well do string.empty. And actually, you know what? No, that's not going to work. I was going to say we can just do a direction. Oh, yes. And we get a shout out for Thindle. Great stream on yesterday. I was there. Kind of. I was trying to answer you, trying to help out, and then got bombarded with stuff. But I hope you were able to figure it all out. Case. Oh, yeah. Whatever order. Sure. Just do them all. Why couldn't you just do the whole entire thing? Why do I have to push enter tab between each of them? Okay, and then instead of handle operator clicked, we're going to do a console.writeLine. Moving on. Up, down, left, right, whatever. Oops. I know, phone. I know. We're doing this though. We got this. Okay, and what this is going to do is allow us to do navigation depending on what current button we have selected. So provided I saved and hot reload changes applied, we should see not only the arrow key pressed, but also the direction moving right, moving down, left, up. So we essentially have a keyboard input for being able to move the focus. We just need to tell it where to move the focus based on which button currently has the focus. So yay, it all works. We're doing well. The other thing I said I wanted to do was to fix the tab order, because right now this is what our DOM looks like. So the question is, should we just move the elements into the correct position so that they tab in the correct order? Or should we actually specify the tab index attribute? Changing the tab index sometimes messes with screen readers. So if I did that, then I wouldn't be able to just loop through here. Or would I? I might be able to. Welcome back, Beatrix. I am about to head out. I think what we'll do is we'll shelve it, but we will change the element order so that the tabs correctly. Right? So where is our numpad items? Actually, you know what? Aren't we using grid to display the calculator? Because if we're using grid, then we don't have to worry about having this thing. Okay. I need to do this so that I can remind myself. We don't actually need this thing so that it prints out in the correct order, because we want it to print out in a specific order in the DOM so that, again, tab index happens naturally instead of overriding the tab index. So instead we will for var I 0, I is less than 10, I plus plus. Actually, I is equal to 1. May as well just say key then, so I don't have to rename that one down there. Okay, and this should still print out correctly, which it does. Yeah, but now our tab order is all over the place. Kind of, that looked right to me. But anyway, we're gonna make sure that this thing prints out so that when you tab, it tabs from 0 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then backspace, divide, multiply, minus, plus, equals. Maybe, I don't know. We'll figure out what order to do it, but we'll do it by rearranging how it appears in the DOM, by specifying what order to print it out in the UI. Oh. Right. And I think this might be an issue too. So because this variable is declared outside, essentially, the value of I changes. Yeah. So we're storing the current value of I and then using that inside of our ID and our onClick handler, because it's possible that it would have used the wrong number for our onClick. Anyway, we're done. I'm calling it. It's dead, Jim. Time of stream end. BitGamey. Our good friend BitGamey has started this stream. I don't know how long ago. I haven't been looking over in that direction. Let's go over to this screen. Oh yeah, and I'm gonna read off all of Thindle's comments that he made. Let me get into all of the people that I typically lurk on. All right, those are good. Including BitGamey, so that I can make sure to be able to hear him when we read over to him. Okay, yeah, it wasn't that many comments. That's another reason that I want to make sure to read through it. So if you guys haven't heard of Nodox, it is a Visual Studio extension that you can mask the values inside of your XML and JSON files, so that if you're ever presenting or maybe streaming, for example, then you don't have to worry about accidentally exposing your keys when you open your secrets inevitably. Anything like that. Anyway, Thindle is the creator of that. I think I said that, not really. But he said, I've been refactoring a bit off stream since I was throwing keys around all over the place. Yeah, I remember that. You were messing with your creating a new Twitch bot, and you kind of exposed your client ID, but I don't think you exposed your client secret, so should be fine. I'm gonna generate an auth token on start. Well, oh gosh, since I haven't started rating yet, desktop, just to show you my UI for my bot. It's just a post endpoint, right? So keep in mind that my bot is Blazor WebAssembly. So my client side needs to, like, man, do I even have a server side? I have an API. I must have an API because I'm using the connect to Twitch three-legged OAuth thing, whatever it's called, to do the connect to Twitch, and that gives me access to all of the rewards, redemptions, and everything else that is not provided by the simple provide your client ID to the chat API. So yeah, what I was trying to get at is I kind of require you to push myself to push a button in order to be able to see redemptions. Like if I did this.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Dagnabbit. You're supposed to see that. That was supposed to show up right here as a redemption. Since I connected and authorized. Weird, whatever, doesn't matter. But now you can see that like there is a way for you to have a button that you can push that does that three-legged authentication, and you give it your Twitch login, and that's what it uses instead of something else that I have no idea what. I don't know enough about it. If someone can help out Thindle with his bot. He's wanting to be able to do the /shoutout command from his bot. That's one of the things he's been working on. Yeah, all right. But that's it for me. We're gonna set up the raid. Bit, gamey. Mojo says, Thindle, let's fix it. Yeah, you can use client ID in secret, or you can use the Twitch authentication. Okay, that's enough for me for now. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. I will be back on Friday for Community Day, a day when I invite you, the community, to hop into Discord and have a voice conversation with me. For those of you that are comfortable doing so. For those of you that are not, then I'll just be paying more attention to chat and answering questions, discussing topics, doing whatever. So yeah, we'll have fun on Friday. For now, I'm going to get back to my Sagetti workday. The timer's counting down, so if it gets in before that, then yes. Otherwise, I will answer you over in BitGamey's channel. So that's it for me. I will be posting a recording of this video to the YouTubes no sooner than 24 hours after I end the stream. And again, feel free to join our Discord if you feel like it. You can also converse with me on my Discord, Thindle. But yeah, that's it for me for now. Ciao.